bringing the people behind our food to life.
What you have now is you have the two things happening simultaneously. There is a move to really feed the world. I mean, the population, we saw some population growth charts. The population continues to grow. There's twice the people on the planet today than there were, in 50 years ago. And each of those people is eating twice the amount of seafood. So the demand for seafood has literally quadrupled in that amount of time. So how do we fill that demand? Part of what is important to realize there is some of these species are, luxury items. People have become accustomed to eating things out of season at times when they're not naturally there. Things like farm salmon. People want to eat salmon year-round when salmon really are only typically caught in the summertime and in the spring, so half the year. But since people need these all the time, we've created these demands for these luxury products that have to be met. Now, we could potentially feed a lot more people if we move to different types of aquaculture practices that don't use quite the amount of resources. But I will say one thing, it makes me pretty upset when I see the sardine fishery out here, which is a very sustainable fishery, very well managed with the ecosystem in mind. 90% of those fish that are caught right off this coast are going to basically feed tuna pens. And when that happens, you lose this great source of protein, of omega-3s, low contaminant seafood that's one of the best, most healthy things you can eat. And it basically all gets lost and fed into a luxury product. Now, people say, does sustainability have to be expensive? We've heard that over and over. Fishermen are getting 6 cents a pound for these things. So you can mark sardines up 2,000% from the fishermen to the market, and they'd still be $1 a pound, one of the cheaper than pretty much any other source of protein you can get out there. And you could do something that's absolutely wonderful for the planet. And in a sense, you could turn a fishery by creating more demand into a higher value but lower volume fishery, leave more fish in the water, but actually feed way more people than the way we're doing it now, where essentially we're wasting these things by putting them into other animals that essentially have like a 20-to-1 conversion ratio. That means 20 pounds of sardines go into every pound that comes out. So in terms of the future of seafood, we really need to think about the implications for what is the ultimate goal. Are we just trying to provide a better farm salmon or a better, meet the demand that's there, or can we use the influence of food writers and chefs to actually shift and push the demand toward things that are more sustainable and make more sense in the long term?